But I want to go back to you serving on the Democratic National Committee in 2016. What was that experience like, and why did you resign at that specific time? Because, as I recall, being at the DNC on day number 1, Debbie Wasserman Schultz resigned. I actually interviewed Senator Kamala Harris on first day, and she kind of minimized the impact of having the head of the DNC resign on day 1 of the convention. But obviously, you resigned months before DWS resigned. You saw something, so what did you see and what can you share with us?
Well, first of all, there were a lot of issues and challenges that we were dealing with within the DNC. It was never a position that I sought out. When I was elected a new member of Congress, I wasn't there but a few weeks when I was approached saying, hey, would you like to serve in this position as vice chair of the Democratic National Committee? I thought if there's a chance that I could do some good, then I'll do my best to do so. What it really came down to for me in 2016 was, as a soldier and a veteran of 2 Middle East deployments, there was no way that I could stand on the sidelines throughout that presidential campaign when there was such a contrast between Secretary Clinton and Senator Bernie Sanders in their foreign policy views. Secretary Clinton having voted for the Iraq War and having very strong interventionist foreign policy views. Senator Bernie Sanders, who voted against the Iraq War, with more of a non-interventionist leaning. So I resigned from the DNC because as an officer, you can't take sides in a presidential primary. And I wanted to make sure that these issues about the cost of war and the consequences of regime change wars was heard in this very important debate about who gets to be our commander-in-chief, because that is the most important responsibility that a president has.
But since that time, some of these folks in that Democratic establishment, and I'll bring up an Indian-American voice, Neera Tanden, who runs the Center for American Progress. She has definitely taken some shots at you, certainly on Twitter. And here you are, both ostensibly liberal women on the same side, trying to oppose President Trump moving forward in 2020, no matter who the nominee is. But she's taking shots at your position, namely because of your trip to Syria. I see that is the invective that she uses. But what can you do to get more of the party establishment behind you? Because it does seem like there's a lot of the folks that have been traditionally supportive of Hillary Clinton and folks of that ilk that may not be behind this candidacy.
Well, I would turn the question around and challenge those in Washington who are attacking me because I'm against wasteful regime change wars. I'm against increasing the suffering of the people in these countries where we wage these wars. I'm against making it so that our troops pay the price for these wars. And I'm against wasting trillions of taxpayer dollars to pay for these wars that end up making things far worse off for the people in those countries, far worse off for the American people, and undermining our security by strengthening Al-Qaeda and ISIS. I'm against all of those things. This is a main reason why I'm running for president. I would challenge Neera Tanden and any of these other people in Washington who are criticizing my views and ask them, why do they support regime change wars that strengthen Al-Qaeda? Why do they support regime change wars that increase the suffering of the people in these countries? Why do they support wasting trillions of taxpayer dollars that we need to pay for healthcare, education, infrastructure, housing, basic needs of our people that must be addressed?